Hello, welcome, Marlene here. Today's cookie project is a cute little lighthouse scene, and now on to the step-by-step tutorial. I traced my lighthouse there in the middle of my cookie, and you can see I Franken-cookied this. This is a cloud, and this is a shape by Sweet Sugar Belle. I'm not sure, I think this is a crayon. And I'm just adding some icing here. So I want this rock to look like it's behind the lighthouse, so I'm not going in front of it. And I'm just creating kind of a wonky shape. This is just a rock, so nothing too precise. Rocks come in all sorts of shapes. And this here, I want this one on this side to be a bit in front of the lighthouse. So I'm doing kind of like a, if we have to give it a shape, kind of like an 8, I guess. The outline of an 8. I'm just filling in this corner. And I'm going to let this crust over. And then I'm going to break up the surface a little bit once it's crusted, just to create some cracks in it. Just like that. I'm filling in with some light yellow icing here, the area where the light would be. I'm just quickly outlining and flooding this. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. I think I might create a little kind of burst of airbrush yellow in the middle to give it like the look that the light is radiating there from the center of this. But it's not touching anything, so I'm just filling it in, and I'll decide later. Just like that. Just gonna break up, not really down here because I'm putting another rock, but right here. I'm just cracking the surface here of the top area. And it's not long you have to wait. If not, you're really gonna, it looks very broken. It's just the kind of thin outer layer has to be dry, and then you can come in and break that up. And now I'm adding a secondary rock here on this, on top. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. Let this dry so that we can break this one. I'm just going to quickly now break up the icing layer at the bottom here. And then let this dry. Just going to add a little burst of yellow in the middle of the light here. Just like that. And now I'm going to shade the rocks up with a bit of black. Really a light misting, and it's important you do this before you add your other details, or else you'll get everything all kind of full of black airbrush, which obviously is not ideal. Rotate to get good angle. A little bit of extra kind of detail on those. I'm going to start, I think, by the roof here on the lighthouse. I've got kind of like a darker gray from the rocks, and I'm just adding a triangle here at the top, resting it on top of that yellow area, the light itself. And I'm going to use exactly the same color at the bottom for the foundation of the lighthouse. I'm trying to limit how many colors I'm mixing to create the project. There. I'm going to flip it over just to facilitate working. I'm just doing a bit of a curved line. I don't want it to be too straight. And touching the rocks, pulling this across, connecting here, and then filling this area. That's it. Below here is water. I'm filling all that in blue. Connecting to that gray, the rocks. And there we go. And there's our water. I'm going to flip this over. And now in the middle of my lighthouse, I'm adding a white area. Kind of a little bit, kind of football shape like that. I don't know if you can see there's a slight curve to it. And then filling. A very slight curve. And now on either side, I'm filling those areas in red. So touching here on this side of the white, and then following my guidelines. And the bottom area, and that'll be it for right now. And that's it. We'll let this dry and then I'll move on with the little final details. I put a piping tip in my black icing just to get a better line, and now I'm outlining my lighthouse. I thought it was looking a little bit kind of, I don't know, it wasn't popping enough for me, and so I'm just outlining it. This is actually the same dark gray that I used for the base and the roof here. You can put the window in marker if you want. There we go. And now I've got some green. I think I might have made it a little bit too stiff. And I'm just coming in here around the rocks and adding some grass just to brighten up all this gray. And it also adds to the kind of scene here that I'm trying to create. Just like that. So add them kind of between the rocks here. We had done them in 2 layers. And you start fat and you go smaller. Just like that. And then I'm going to add a bit down here. Adding my ruffles. Now you could do this on a dress, anything that needs ruffles. narrow edge is out, and I'm starting here and I'm doing an M movement. And I'm gonna stop about here. My blue is a bit different. It's sticking out over there, but I'm not gonna worry that much about that. And I'm just really, with a wet brush, smoothing all this out, just brushing it down. Like so. Don't be scared to get in there and like squish it. And now another row of it, again with the M movement. Like so. And flatten this out. Just like so. Adding my third row of ruffles, just a little last area here. Now, be warned, these ruffles, as pretty as they are very fragile. If you're stacking or wrapping, the icing can break because it's sticking up, and royal icing is not like that strong. So there we go. And if you have, you could add a little seashell here if you wanted, just for an added little element. I do have seashells, but they're very white. I don't find it looks nice, so I'm not gonna add, but you see, you could add a little seashell there if you wanted, if you have little ones. Here's my completed cookie once again. I'm bringing this guy on holiday to take some cute cookies in the wild photos, and that's why I made a lighthouse, if any of you are curious. So you can check out my Instagram story to see what adventures this cookie is going on. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future uploads, and I'll see you next time.